So, have you ever wanted to rip off my content? Yes? No? Did I ask? Do I care? Well, you're watching this now. So, anyways, this is essentially a behind-the-scenes video on how I've been able to compile and work with everything that I've done. I'm going to be covering Let's Plays, podcasts, even the reviews, how to edit, how to do everything in order to set up a channel and to essentially rip off my style of content. Let's get right into it. Alright, now this is where everything on the podcast lives, exactly. Now, of course, very simple, you guys already know, I have our whole logo thing over here, which I'll get into more detail later. The visualizers for everything over here. The thing over here for the screen capture, which I occasionally use. And the logo that was created by Chase the Brawler. Other things include the live stream will begin shortly, blah 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 thing. Blah blah blah. Now the video was just a copyright-free video. If I can find the link to it, I'll share it. But yeah, just search up like copyright-free psychedelic space loop blah blah blah. Something will pop up. It'll be good. That's essentially what I used, and I set that up as background video. And within the settings, I just downloaded the video. Filters, or was it properties? It was properties. All I had to do was checkmark the loop and checkmark restart playback when source becomes active, and show nothing when playback ends. I don't know why that's checkmarked, but anyway, just checkmark a loop so that it infinitely loops. There you go. Ugh. Now, for my audio, I use my Blue Snowball microphone. You've been hearing it in all the new content in 2021, from the first episode of the Let's Play up to this video now. It's what I've been using. It's a really great quality microphone. Brand new, they're $50, but if you go on eBay or if you go locally on like Craigslist or OfferUp, you can find them for much cheaper. I got mine used for only $20, so I prefer going the used route because, it's not like anyone has their spin on it or anything. Anyways, so I add that as my microphone, and that's how I get my thing. My audio is actually louder than everyone else's, so I put it at -12 decibels, so mine is quieter. For the desktop audio, that's how you get the audio for everyone else. All I do is just record everything in Discord, alright? I have a VC called Studio VC, and that's how all the audio is captured. So I go over and I put it as desktop audio. The disadvantage with this is that actually collects all of the audio from your entire computer, minus my microphone. So if you get like notifications and stuff like that, then that will also appear. Or if you're listening to music in the background, then everyone will hear that. But it's fine. It works well. I don't get notifications. I don't listen to music, so it works well for me. Also, the visualizers don't really work because these two visualizers are both set to desktop audio, so that's why they both move in harmony. There's nothing I can do to actually do that because, I don't have everything as two separate audio files. I have just one. Visualizers aren't even that good anyways. Who the hell is the guy who even did them? Who did this? Spectralizer, I think. I don't know. Here's blah blah blah. They work okay, but they freaking what do they do? They lag out a lot. They lag out a lot, and they clip, and they kind of just they lag a lot. So they're not even really that good. I wouldn't really recommend them. If you're wondering, I go into video and I choose to stream at 30 FPS instead of 60 because less bitrate, the lesser chance of something screwing up and something getting something crashing, or like with me where everything just crashed. So yeah, you're gonna want to just set things at lower percentages. Bitrate, I do 2500. That works fine for me. And of course, stream key is the most important part. Now, if you don't know how to stream key, it's very simple. Just Google, what do I Google? I Google, YouTube Live Dashboard. Go over there, because I can't find it in YouTube Studio. Go over here, this is where you get everything else, actually. So when you go live, you already have the title of the video, you already have the thumbnail, blah, 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 and you have the stream key. All you gotta do is just, you find it, every channel has one, you copy that, and then you go over here, and then... Someone's gonna fucking clip that and say, the cutest shit ever, Pepsi dude when he sneezes, sounds so fucking hot. Anyways, you just go over here, and then you go to stream key, service, YouTube, server, YouTube, you can go Twitch or whatever, paste the stream key there, apply that, and then, once you have all that, you're perfect. All you gotta do is press start streaming, and there you go. Now stop bothering me. Let's go into Google Drive. Alright, we have the projects. This is where everything lives. I mean, this is exactly where everything started. Because I've been using Google Slides ever since like the 2nd grade, so I know it like the back of my hand. Everything you can think of that I've like ever done. Stuff from By Unpopular Demand, all sorts of junk. Oh, stuff from that Sonic Extreme 99 video I edited. Let's scroll past here to get to the good stuff. Oh, is this the original? Yeah, okay. So here's the original master file for the podcast. Now, as you can see, the whole joke here is that there's another podcast called the Caracast with Noobs. If you haven't heard of them, shout out to them. You know, really do check them out. But my whole thing was that, you know, I'm parroting their channel. Now this banner was only meant to be done for one day, the first podcast, and then once the second podcast hit, I was going to have an original setup, but I just kept forgetting to do it again and again and again until it just became the podcast staple, where it's still being referenced to this day. It's still here. And that's mainly because Caracast switched their overlay, so I get to just steal theirs at this point. But, yeah, and then this was the MS Paint logo that I did. All of this was mainly done here, you know. I did this in MS Paint. This was done in text boxes over here, and then I just added everything. What's great about this is that the green that you see over here, all I did was just go over here, and then I added green as the, as like the little overlay thing, and then I added 3 pixels of weight to it, so there you go. And then of course I just stretched out my Discord profile picture, and then it just became my classic thing that's been known to this day. Fast forward to modern times, right over here, latest one. Basically all I do nowadays is just go over this. I had a copy like this, and then I just deleted everything, and there you go. This is basically the file that I reference. So over here you have everything, and all I do is just switch out stuff back and forth. I added the cool galaxy stuff last episode because I thought it looked really cool. Yeah, that's basically it. Now the thing with this is that once I'm done doing everything, I go over to File, and then I put Download, and then I download it as a JPEG, which I already have. And then from there, I gotta go into MS Paint, my file software choice of editing. And this is where I do all my thumbnails. Yeah, let's pick this one. This is just a random one. But basically all I do here is that I get everything and then I shrink everything to a certain aspect ratio. Oh, this is one that wasn't used because Blaz didn't show up. But yeah, all I do is just shrink the aspect ratios and blah 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 so that it's cut over and it looks nice. And then, once I do that, I go over and use my special trick. It's called Lunapic. Now, this is one of my favorite websites. It's absolute banger. All I gotta do is just choose a file, any file, audio file, files of pain, files of torture. Can you use Donkey Kong real quick? Can you upload them? Just good. Jesus Christ, it's a humongous Donkey Kong. Anyways, all I gotta do is just click up here to the transparent. And there you go, we got transparent Donkey Kong. That's amazing, dude. And then all I do, I save that, and then I just go over to OBS, and that is where I insert the image. And there you go, that's basically it. Thumbnails were also done in a very similar form factor. It's kind of basically the same as the normal one. I just see this, and then I pasted it to the opposite side. I added the green thing, but I made it bigger, and this is where I just have everything, and then I put the background that I use. The numbering system, which is the same as the Pepsi Plays one. And then I just add everything there, and then, then I put the title cards. It's very basic. Pepsi Plays isn't as complicated, but there's still some stuff to go over. Now, where is the... Oh, yeah, I screwed over, so I have to, redo everything. Nope, that is... I labeled them all as cock for some reason. Alright, so nothing actually shows up right here, because my capture card isn't plugged in. Now, my capture card, I'll show it off to you over here. It's one that I actually got off Amazon, and I'll share the link down in the description. It works beautifully. It's not the best. It actually records everything in MJPEG, which is literally motion JPEG. But if you've seen the Let's Plays and you see the quality of it, for $6 that I paid for this, I mean, you can't get much better than this. And plus, all those cheap capture cards that you've been seeing, they have the same exact chipset as this. It's even like the 4K ones and everything. It's the same exact thing. So unless you're buying an Elgato, this is the best you can get, essentially. Now, all I do is just follow the instructions on the capture card, and then I insert everything as I do. Of course, I have desktop audio, just like with the podcast, and then I have my microphone, just like the podcast. It's essentially set up just like the podcast. Video capture device is set up. I have all the async and blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, that's how that's set up. Now, we just start talking. Nothing is scripted. We just start talking, and then I try to cut everything down to the best bits. I think the part that you guys want to know is the thumbnails. Now, the logo itself, see, the other logos were weird, because while the podcast one was actually hand-drawn by a friend of mine, Chase the Brawler, this one was actually created within the editor itself. Let me try to find it. Oh, here it is. Here's the original logo. I literally just went over here. I went to Shapes, I believe. Circle. There you go. And then I made it bigger, and then I made it like blah blah blah, and then I decided I wanted an outline, so I gave it this outline, this color, and then with impact font, I know, the worst font ever, there you go, I did that. Then for the updated logo, I literally just got the text, and then I made it italic, and then I moved it back, and I think it looks a lot better. I don't know why it took me so long to fix it, but there you go. So yeah, you don't really need too much intuition or knowledge to make a good-looking logo. I mean, I made this within like 5 minutes in Google Slides of all applications, so I mean, take that as you will. Now I can finally talk about editing. Now, I always use my trusty editing software, Movie Studio 15. Now, this is essentially like Vegas Pro. Of course, everyone, if you've heard of editors, of course you've heard of Vegas Pro, although this is meant to be more of a home studio version. This is meant for people who just normal people who want to make home movies, just normal people, whereas Vegas Pro is an actual professional editing software used by real professionals. In fact, I'm sure even some movie studios use it. I mean, it's actually that good. But I don't really notice too many of the things, It really just cuts back on one of the features that the other one doesn't have, but it's fine. It's a perfect beginner entry-level editor, and, it's always done me good. And the best thing is that this isn't the latest version. The latest version costs like $70, which is fine, but you can buy used copies from eBay, and they're perfect. I got this one for like $20, so cheap as heck. Brand new, old stock, never been used, still with the original key and everything. So you just punch in the numbers, there you go. So you can buy these for pretty solid prices, gonna be honest. So get one of these. Now what I do is that I record everything, into my PC drive over here all the videos of all the everything that I have. Where's the original file? Yes. This is the original file right over here, 3126. So what I do is I just get the file, I plop it into the editor, and then I just start doing cuts. Now, I make it the easiest where I just watch through all the footage, and my first cut is to do a small cut right here every time I die. Not take anything out, but just cut every spot where I die. So therefore, I kind of have a visual aid of where to go and what to do. Then I rewatch everything a second time, and I take out a lot of the cuts that I think are bad. You know, a lot of time I've gotten game overs, and I completely cut out all the game over footage and then just go back to where I was, because that's like 5 minutes of footage that I could use. And so I tried to cut everything down. Before last few episodes, I tried to make the standard 13 minutes, at the very most 17 minutes for specialty episodes. But now, instead, I'm trying to have a normal style, which is going to be 15 minutes an episode. So, next episode is going to be 15 minutes. Hopefully, the episode after that is going to be only 15 minutes. I'd say always hit that 10 to 15 minute sweet spot for Let's Play videos. I think that's kind of the best. I know Game Grumps and some other channels have been doing Let's Play videos that are like 30 minutes long, but I don't think that's the way to go. Like, I really don't think that's the way to go in making Let's Plays. So, just do this. Also, because of making them shorter, you'll also fill out your content with a lot more of them. In all reality, if I made these 30 minutes, there'd only be like 3 or 4 episodes. But nope, because I get to drag them out, I have like 10 Let's Play videos, so... Now, of course, here's the moment that everyone's been waiting for. How did I do By Unpopular Demand? And here it is. This is my freaking masterpiece, the most I've ever edited. And this isn't even everything. This is literally the review portion of the video, but this is not the live action segments. These are not... Wait, is that a... Oh, okay. These are not the live action segments. Now, the review segments were recorded first. What has to be known is that the actual, like, me speaking into the microphone, talking bits, that was done in around, like, late January, early February, because I knew that this was going to take, obviously, the longest to edit, and I edited all the way to, from February all the way till, like, the day before the video came out. I swear, I spent a lot of time editing. And, the live action segments were actually the final thing that I recorded for the video. If I can go over here to the SD card, DCIM, here you go. Here's everything. These parts were recorded, of course, at 501 Studios. But, of course, all the other ones were recorded at a public park, like I said. I kinda was getting a bit iffy on this, because without any of the music and just hearing me talking, it didn't sound very good. It really didn't. But everything was saved in editing, and after the music and everything sounded a lot better. But yeah. Now, the game footage itself wasn't actually recorded in on a DS, as it may seem. I actually recorded it in Desmumi emulator. This is a DS emulator that I use, and it's okay. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. But the whole thing is, what I did over here, launch anyway. What I did over here is that I made a separate capture. So all it did was just a standard capture for Desmumi, except I added this image and this image right here to create a sort of overlay. So it seemed as if I created an overlay, when in all reality it wasn't. It was just standard Desmumi, and it kind of created the standard white that was also used in the thumbnail too and everything. So I'm kind of getting fond of the look here. Here's normal footage. Yep. Pretty banger. Alright, so now comes the final part of everything. So what I did is that I exported the whole review, and I just plopped that right down into a separate project called SSR2. So then this is where all the standard live action stuff comes from, you know, the first live action bit and the second live action bit. At this point, I'm just going to give you some really cool trivia. Of course, this was filmed on my $300 Canon camera. You know, shout out to Tyler, he was recording. Now, it's a pretty quality camera. If you like the look of how everything looks in my videos, then go for it. But honestly, if you have an iPhone XR, for instance, I have, just use that. It works really well. It sucks when trying to export the files into a computer, but if you can get past that, then it's actually a really quality camera. Now, either way, I have, two shout-outs to whoever noticed that I was playing Garden by Pearl Jam, a friggin' banger track. I actually originally wanted to use the end of... No, was it? No, I wanted to use the end of The Palace That Was Found from the Sonic and the Secret Ring soundtrack. But I couldn't get it to work, and I thought it just sounded kind of off, and I didn't like how it sounded, so I went with Garden instead. Chase the Brawler feature, blah, blah, blah. And, of course, my number one favorite freaking thing. Freaking finally! In all of my 4 years of this content creation, YouTube channel's creation, I've finally been able to say, well, that's redundant within proper context. That's just great. I've always wanted to do that. Anyways, if you actually notice, I did an overdub right over here, as you can hear. The reason for that is another thing that I didn't even mention, the wind. The wind was freaking terrible, and it was so absurdly bad. I didn't even take the wind into consideration when recording. I just forgot that wind existed. I go back to the footage, and it's terrible. And all I did was that I went to the equalization. I did negative 25 bass, blah, 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 blah. And we did as George Lucas has said.
It's stylistically designed to be that way, and you can't undo that, but we can diminish the effects of it.
So yeah, it just really sucks because I wasn't able to completely get rid of the wind, but I was able to diminish some of the effects. If you notice this, then metal to you. I even gave it the proper stuff so it fit in a lot better. Anything else? Ah, yes, the very end scenes were actually filmed with my iPhone XR and not my normal camera, as you can maybe tell within like the lighting and whatnot, because my camera died when filming, and so what do you expect us to do? Go back, recharge the camera, and come back? No, we do not have the time for that, so I just recorded with my iPhone XR, and it blended in surprisingly well. I don't think a single person noticed the difference, and if you did, no, you're lying. Final piece of trivia straight from the original script. Because of time constraints, I actually took out an entire scene from the original in order to make it shorter. Oh yeah, 2 scenes actually. Now, there's one scene where where Pepsi finds the copy of Sonic Rush. Pepsi actually says, "Hey, where did you find this in the first place?" And then he says, "This over here." And there you go. Whereas in the final cut, he just says, oh god, how lame. And then he cuts to saying, I think that's enough, when they had a small interaction between that. Oh yeah, also, the scene with me getting the DS, there was actually 2 separate versions. We went with the second cut where the cameraman gives me the DS. We had the second alternative cut in the script. This was the original cut. Here it is. Ooh, right here. Yeah. So we cut that because that joke was kind of weird and iffy, and it didn't make sense. And logically, that brings up more questions than it does answers in this universe, how I have a living pocket dimension inside my anus. So, yeah, we cut that out. And so, I think I've covered everything. Although, can't believe it. Didn't even mention the Wall of Doom. This is the Wall of Doom. This is literally some behind, just not even like useful stuff. It's just cool behind the scenes stuff. This is the Wall of Doom. It is literally a poster board that I bought for $3. There's a chair I've with. All I did was that I drew a bunch of lines, a bunch of grids. I drew a circle in the middle, and then I drew my signature face. Actually, on my Instagram, you've seen that I've drawn this before, and I posted it. This is actually a face that I've drawn ton of times in textbooks and whatnot. Some little funny things. I just kind of draw and doodle it, and I've always wanted to use it in a video, but I've never been able to do it within a proper context. So, thankfully, I've been able to do it. And of course, how I was able to do the voice, I downloaded a little thing called Voxel Voice Changer. It was a little application. Oh, my free trial expired. Oh, I can't show you. Oh well, but the noise I used, the modifier that I used was Cyborg, and that's what I did. That's what I put. And so those are actually the very last scenes that I filmed. So as you can see over here, this was the very last piece of footage that was filmed. I literally just took it outside and then I filmed it for a straight minute. Pretty banger. That's basically how the Wall of Doom happened. Alright, thanks for watching this. Did you find this useful? Did you find none of the information useful? Did you even, care enough? I don't even know why you'd watch this then. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. If you like this, share it around, show it to your friends. If you want to start off your own podcast or Let's Play, I'm glad that I've been able to help you out. Bye!